Hello. Yesterday I was watching this video about the IKEA effect, which is, if you don't know, the idea that like one of the reasons you like buying things from IKEA is because you have a part in creating it. Like you invest your time into creating that furniture. It becomes more of a part of you. Like there is a bond there. So you're more likely to go back the next time you need furniture because you have a higher value on their furniture versus maybe some other pre put together furniture store. Like maybe it's because the furniture is good quality, or maybe it's because you just spend so much of your time and you like congratulate yourself on like creating good furniture, that kind of thing. That's why like the reason that you have like Taylor Swift, like she has so many fans. The reason that like Marvel movies have so many fans, because there is this like payoff. There is this little like dopamine effect that goes off when you've invested so much of your time into a certain topic, like a certain individual, a certain like franchise, a certain fandom, so that like when something, like when you get rewarded for that, like there's a little like reference to something that only you'll get because you're the one that spent so much time absorbing all of this. Like that's a message just for you. Like there is like this parasocial effect that like you think that this is there's a part of you that is like part of you become a part of the fandom, for lack of a better term, that you are a part of. Like you are a participant more than just an observer. I think that's where like a lot of parasocial like relationships on the internet exist. And with that in mind, I feel like that could be used for good, and it isn't enough. Because I'm thinking, if you were like someone who was like a genuinely good person and had like fairly significant influence in the world, like specifically the online world, because it allows us to be so connected, and you could like establish little thing, like you could use that trick of like you feel like you're participating in the community. The way I pictured it is like, for lack of a better word, like creating quests that people in your community can start to do that better their lives. I'll give an example. Like right now, I'm trying to go 10 days without complaining. Like not just out loud, but like internally as well. And like, it's difficult. I've only gone like a day and a half total before like something happens, and then I have to restart. But it's better than I have been. Like it's better than I was in the beginning. Like in the beginning, it was like multiple times a day I would have to like restart. And that's no longer the case. So I am getting better, which stands to reason that I will get to those 10 days. And I would imagine that most people also can't do that. Like that's not something, like that is something that would be something that you'd have to work on for most people. Like that is an accomplishment, a long-term goal, a quest. That's what I keep envisioning this as. And like imagine if someone with more influence were to like share what I just shared and like said like, I'm doing this, I challenge you to also do this. Like, can you also go 10 days? Like if you can, let me know. I want to know about it. Like, I want to know about it. Like create that connection, and then that person, because they're actually a good person that actually cares about this community and the betterment of humanity, like they actually can invest their time into learning about the other people that learn. Like like obviously it's not scalable that this can be like if you have like 1 million followers, you're not going to be able to engage with every other person that does it, but you still can engage with some of them. Like you can always have that community. Like you can always have that sense of like, you could be, anyone watching could be the person that I connect with. Like there is like, I want to connect with my community. It creates this illusion. I don't even know if it's an illusion. It's just, at a larger scale, I guess it's an illusion. But I actually disagree with that. No, it's not. But regardless, it creates this actual community. More people are more likely to want to do these quests. People are more likely to like spend their time like, because ultimately things like this is something that's got to be like a constant effort, kind of always in the back of your mind. Like maybe not something that you're thinking about every second, but something that like you are going to remember. And like if you do say something, like in the example I gave, like if you do complain about something, like the red flag goes off, and now you got to restart. It's something to like always keep you busy, always keep your mind on becoming a better person. Like imagine if that was a popularized thing. Like I've never done a marathon, but I feel like if I had, and I went to a party where I didn't know someone and I talked to them and they said that they had done a marathon and I had done a marathon, I would feel like a sense of connection with them. because we have something that the two of us have gone through that other people haven't. Like, there are certain experiences, I'm sure, like, there's different kinds of fatigues that you only get once you're really trying for a marathon because it really pushes you, and, like, you can connect to that. Like, the only reason that right now you can't connect on the same level of, like, not complaining and, like, the like, similar side effects, for lack of a better word, that come up when you are constantly trying to cut down on your complaining, is because there's no word for that. There is no like, actual, like, there's no word like marathon. Like, it hasn't been memeified. It hasn't become, like, created into, like, a quest with a title of, like, this is what this thing is. But if someone with influence could popularize that, or popularize other things like that, that ultimately are long-term goals that make you a better person, like, think of, like, the impact that could have. I understand that, like, at its core, being a good person, like, to fit in, because ultimately that would be, like, there'd be a fear of missing out, that you, that, like, I'm not a part of this community, so people are going to want to do it because they want to, like, be a part of a community. So, like, I could understand where you might say, you're being a good person for nefarious reasons. And I do agree, because ultimately you should be a good person because being a good person is the correct thing to do. But if we're being real, not everyone's going to feel that way. And some people do need, like, a little cheat way to get their foot in the door, to get that ball rolling. And then once that happens, it scales up, scales up, scales up. And then one time when you're just, like, being a good person just to fit in, slowly morphs into being a good person because, like, oh, this feels good. Some people don't know that being a good person feels good. Strange as it is, I mean, I certainly didn't realize the extent to how good being good can feel. So I imagine others are the same way. And if you can, like, tokenize that, like, truly, like, make, like, I did this, I had this, other people can share their stories about it. It creates, like, this, like, I don't want, like, it kind of is like almost like a hashtag. You can connect with it through a hashtag. I'm sure there's a better way, a more 2025, 2026 way to establish connection. But it could really scale if it became, like, I guess what I'm essentially pitching is, like, let's gamify being a good person to, like, a greater extent. And ultimately the way to do that is just by, like, naming these new, like, these things. Like, there needs to be, like, let's do this. There needs to be someone with influence that's like, hey, everyone, we're choosing this thing to do to this month, this, like, section to this. Let's all do this together. Like, it's like a book club, but for being a good person. Is this coming through? Does this make any sense? I think it does. I think this is tracking. So, yes, if anyone that is watching this has any influence, no matter how big or small, and you're like, oh, yeah, this sounds good, feel free to take this idea. I want to see the world a better place. Just needs more people doing the right thing. And, like, inaction is an action. Like, if you can, like, anytime, like, you might not be doing ultimately bad things, but if you're not always doing better, like, it's better to always be doing good than it is to not be doing bad. Maybe that didn't make sense, but is that it? Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Let me know if you disagree. Maybe you do think that it's not a great idea to, like, gamify being a good person in this way. I could be wrong. I'm always open to being wrong. Let me know if you disagree, or if you see any flaws in this system, or improvements. I'd love to hear them all, truly. Or if you think this is insane and sociopathic that I'm trying to, like, gamify goodness. I don't know. Could be. Whatever. Truly, thank you for watching this video. I appreciate it. I love you. Peace.